Well, good morning, Solid Rock. Good morning. Good morning. Good to be back. Good to be here. It's always a blessing to join you, my family and I. So we bring blessings of love and friendship and faith in Jesus. And we also come for the same blessings. Amen? Yes, solid rock is solid, right? Yes, very good. Today's gospel speaks to us. If we are not very careful, we can see it in the past. And we won't be able to see it in the present time. Because of what we call context. You know, in America, in Africa is a little bit different. In Africa, going to church is still happening. Maybe my wife would tell or if it's still happening or not, but I think it's still happening. In Africa, it's still, people go to church, they fight for the front seats. Yeah. In America, no. In America, right? I'm close. You're close, you are. In America, my experience is the other way around. Most of the time, people like the back seat. They want to sit in the back. And then slowly and slowly, it starts to fill up, yeah. In Africa, it's more cultural. People fight for the front seat. The church is often a unique entertainment moment. Yeah. So that's why I'm insisting on the context. In Africa, the church is more entertainment. When you go to concerts, you go to basketball, magic, if those, we have some magic fans here, you go to Orlando. Wouldn't you love to have the front seat? Yes. And guess what? Those benches right there, they're given to who? The most important people, right? Yeah. Context. So, that's the kind of context for Africa. People want to be in the front. They want to see the show, the dancing, the music, the pastor jumping up and down, or the priest. They want to see that. Well, so they will fight for the front seats for those reasons. Yeah. But Jesus is giving us a unique context. Remember, this is a parable. It doesn't have so much to do with the seats. No. This is a parable. So you have to understand it within the context of Jesus' teaching. If one word or one sentence I would want you to take home today and reflect on, ask yourself, what is a place of honor in your life? And who occupies that place? If you can take a message from me today home, what is a place of honor in your life? And who occupies that place? Matthew says, where your treasure is, where also your heart will also be. Jesus is coming to this banquet. That was the culture, the tradition, the Jewish Semitic people. A meal, very big time. Pharisees were very important people. So, Jesus actually was a very important person. You know, yes, Christians, we see Jesus more in the line with the poor. He's out there, he's traveling, he's fishing, and he's being crucified, he's being oppressed. he's having a difficult time. No, Jesus also had good time. Jesus was an honorable man. Jesus was a Pharisee, a good one. Jesus was a rabbi, a good one, the best. Jesus was a teacher. Jesus was respected in the community. People fought to have the front seat when Jesus was in town. So this Pharisee invited Jesus to have that honor, to have that privilege. Who else did that? At Jesus' request? Zacchaeus, right? Yeah, Zacchaeus did that. Many Pharisees, Nicodemus, many invited Jesus to have a meal and to have that special time. You know, when we want to have somebody special, a politician or a priest, a bishop, or somebody who we want him to teach us something, a businessman, what do we often do? We put together a meal, right? Put together a meal, organize a place, invite them. They come and sit at the table with you and share what you want them to share with you. That's what many did that time, to capture Jesus and be face to face with him and listen to him. So when he got there, Luke is narrating it very well. Say, everybody was watching him because they knew him. He was going to strike a teaching. So everybody was ready for what Jesus was going to deliver. They were watching him. What is he going to say? What's going on in his mind now? What is he planning? And boom, he delivered. Yeah. And maybe that's something they were not expecting. Jesus is teaching in real time. How about this? We could be teaching in the past. We're neglecting the present time. We're neglecting the moment we live in. We cling to the past. And guess what? When we do that, the gospel loses taste. The gospel does not speak to the present time. It speaks to the past. And those who are in the present, they don't get it. So Jesus is speaking to his contemporary right there as he watches the way they behave. When you are invited, don't fight for the place of honor. And what is the message here? One word. What's the virtue here Jesus is trying to drive into our lives? Humility. I'll give you a Disney World ticket when I get it. I don't know when I'll ever get one. Humility. Jesus is teaching us humility. My brothers, my sisters, humility is powerful. Humility is amazing. Humility moves mountains. Humility moves God. And if there is something you and I, as Christians, could work on daily, it's humility. Humility covers everything. If you have humility, you have room for others. You have room for even those you do not know. Jesus is talking about people out there, people around us, people we run into, who don't look like us, who don't eat like us, who have nothing together with us, who don't have the money we have, who don't even come to our church. And Jesus is saying, reach out to them. Of course, he symbolically uses this favorite people in his life, we say Jesus had a preferential option for the poor. The poor were very special to Jesus. Are the poor special in your life? If not, you're in trouble. If not, you are in trouble with Jesus. The poor were very special to Jesus. So he said, if you have this big banquet, remember the cripple, remember the lame, remember the poor, remember the marginalized, remember those out there who have no one to invite them, those who are being pushed out. Look at our world today. Forget about those lame, those crippled in the past. Today, in America, in Winter Haven, in this community, who are these people? Do you know who they are? If you don't know, can you find out who they are and reach out? And you can only do that if you're humble. If you're not humble, you will not be able to do it. You will be like those Jeremiah is talking about in the first reading. Jeremiah is complaining. Jeremiah was a prophet of complaints and dooms. Jeremiah was never happy. And that's how God assigned him. Jeremiah was a tough prophet, always beating on the people of Israel, and for the right reasons. So Jeremiah is saying, even the priests, the teachers, the prophets, they are losing it. They're not getting it. They're misleading my people. Why? Because they're embracing idols out there. They're embracing themselves. They're becoming their own gods. They feel so powerful. They're embracing the gods of Baal, and they are getting rid of humility. There is no humility in their lives. They're not remembering the God who has brought them out of Egypt. Why are they not able to remember this God? Because of a lack of humility. When you're not humble, you cannot be grateful. When you're not humble, you easily forget where you're coming from. When you're not humble, you don't see where you're going. You see just here and now. And you do what the Romans used to call carpe diem. Right? Seize the moment and feast and make use of it, because you don't know what tomorrow is going to bring. Right? Fight and push. Fight for yourself. Survival for the fittest. No, that has no room in the Christian life. So Jesus is saying, the stronger you are, the loving, the caring you need to be for those who are not as strong as you are. So when you throw a banquet, ask yourself, when do you throw a banquet? Throwing a banquet could just be as simple as going to a grocery store. You're going to shop. You're having a good time. You run into someone who is having a bad time. What do? Help them out. As simple as that. That's the context. Your banquet could simply be, you are in the community. There is a shelter next door. There are programs. There are people in the community who are suffering, single mothers. You name it. I'm just giving an example. That could be your banquet. Who are you inviting? When you know they're out there. Americans today Whether you like it or not, America today is full of fear. That's not America. And when we are so much afraid and divided, humility it evaporates. Because we become so afraid, so tight. And we forget that God has blessed us with so much. We got the power to push forward. The people of Israel, Jeremiah was upset with them because of that lack of humility, gratefulness, know where they're coming from, who their God is, and where they're going. The priests, the prophets, the leaders were all caught in lack of humility, fear, worries, and division. And the next part of the gospel, right? What's the next part of the gospel? Can someone suggest? The first one was when you come to a place like this, don't fight for the front seat. But I will encourage you for the church, if you can, come to the front seat. Yeah. If you meet Jesus one day and he's against that, tell him, Father Gabriel is the one who told me. Yes. Right? So occupy the front seat and do that out there as well. Bring others with you. Bring your wife, bring your children. Let's go to the front seat. And when you're out there, you do the same. Bring others to the front seat. Come on. Now, I love the culture in this country. Some people don't do it well, but most of the time, you'll see somebody's ahead of you. Instinctively, they know someone else is coming. They will either give you the door or they let you go in first. It's beautiful. We take it for granted. But I only pray if we could take that everywhere. Yeah. It's beautiful. Just simple thing like that. Boom, open the door and let the person go in. And then you follow them. This is a beautiful practice that we can bring into many other areas of our lives. And he turns to the person who invited him and said, when you throw a banquet, this person was targeting Jesus for the banquet, right? And then definitely he wanted his friends, who are people of honor, the other Pharisees and teachers and powerful people, surrounding Jesus. Jesus was extremely uncomfortable in a group like that. So ask ourselves as solid rock, can Jesus come here and be comfortable? Ask yourself that question and find out yes or no. Jesus was very uncomfortable being in a crowd like that. The Pharisees, the people of honor, and then he looks around, there's no poor, no cripple, no lame. Jesus said, no, I don't belong here. And then he started firing. So when you have a meal like this, come on. If you only invite those you know, you only invite those who love you, what are you doing? It's a club, right? We're becoming a club. We're becoming a clique, a gang. We're gangsters. Right? Yeah. We got to open up because that's evangelical. If we don't do that, there's no way we can evangelize. There's no way we can pull in others into the kingdom. So Jesus said, no, when you do this next time, remember those who have no one who can invite them. Because if you do this, you're not doing anything different. You're going around. It's what we call in philosophy, vicious circle, right? Yeah. It's just right there. No one else is coming in. And the kingdom is not growing, the kingdom is not expanding, the kingdom is not blessing, the kingdom is dying. Right? If you do that. So again, brothers and sisters, I want to insist on the context. Remember to identify banquets in your life. And once you're able to do that, remember who to invite. It doesn't mean your daughter is having a wedding, you're like, all right, we're going to invite the poor in town. No. It doesn't work like that. Don't go destroy somebody's wedding, right? Or you have a bingo. You tell the bingo director or the in charge person, look, I'm a Christian, I need to invite the poor to the bingo. No. Don't go misappropriate. Identify your own banquet. Jesus is not saying you use someone else's banquet. No. Your own banquet. When you're in charge, when you have power, you are the one to invite. Amen? Amen. Yes. Let's do that here at Solid Rock. God has loved us so much that the letter to the Hebrews says, Jesus is yesterday, today, and his teaching remains the same. Banquets happened, they're happening, they will happen. Places of honor, the front seats are always there. But let's now bring them into our own lives. Banquets, places of honors in your life, in your heart. Who occupies a place of honor in your life? If it's Jesus, then make sure Jesus comes with the cripple, the lame, the poor. You got to make room for that. You cannot pick and choose. Right? I remember a beautiful wedding. I think I saw it online. This gentleman was marrying a young lady with a child. The child was she looked 5 or 6. And the wife or the lady kept telling the gentleman, if you're going to marry me, you're going to marry me with everything I come with. Right? Yeah, she kept saying that. And then the gentleman said, yeah, I'm fine with that. But he kept it all secret. And this young the daughter was hoping, praying so much that this man would literally take her as his own daughter. Right? And the day of the wedding, the husband did something very surprising. I think it's the daughter, the mother who kind of organized that. And at the day of the wedding, he did the wedding ceremony and vows, and at the same time told the young girl that today also I am adopting you as my own daughter. From now on, for better, for worse, you are my child. It was moving. It was powerful. Everybody, including the minister, everybody was in tears. That kind of love. That Jesus said, you are choosing me? Okay, you got to choose everything I come with. You got to choose everybody I am bringing in. The poor, the cripple, the lame, the marginalized, the oppressed. There are so many in our society, in our world. Where is your place of honor? Where is the place of honor in your life? Where is that front seat in your heart? Who occupies it? Amen? Amen.